continuation of CBS's coverage of the Midwest Regional Semifinal action from Dallas, where the 10th-seeded Longhorns of Texas will take on the 6th-seeded Musketeers of Xavier. Now, both of these squads were underdogs who pulled off upsets to gain around.
But John Bagley, who can dribble in traffic, get around, through, and finish plays. It's very unusual, and so far he has been elusive for Xavier.
No question about it that Texas has one of the most productive scoring trio of guards in the nation. But Bill, the big guys in the middle, Loxley, Colley, and Panama Myers, they don't ever see the ball.
Well, they have some fun. They sit down there, watch the three guys shooting, and watch it go up over their head, and then attack the glass. That's what you do to big guys. Make them work for it.
Of course, now key to this ball game.
I think the key is, how does Xavier match up with the three guards of Texas? Will they have to play smaller? Will they have to go to zone and get a aggressive man-to-man?
All right, and as we take a look at the starting lineups, there has been a change as far as Xavier is concerned, in that Maurice Brantley will be starting in place of Michael Davenport, along with Tyrone Hill, Derek Strong, Jamal Walker, and Jamie Gladden. Lance Blanks, Loxley Colley, Panama Myers, Joey Wright, and Travis Mays, the 5 for the Texas Longhorns. Xavier's head coach, Pete Gillen, in his 5th year, and the road they took by beating Kansas State and pulled off the upset of the mighty Hoyas of Georgetown by 3 last week in Indianapolis. The Texas Longhorns under Tom Penders beat the regular season SEC champion Georgia by 12, got the running game going, and then pulled off the upset of number 2 seed Purdue last week in Indianapolis as well. Tom Penders and the officials for tonight's ball game: Larry Limbo from Farmington, New York, Robert Donato from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Tom Harrington from Chico, California. And we're underway. The tip controlled by Texas. Blanks off the mark, and Loxley Colley is going to be whistled for the travel.
I think he was so excited he was going to get a shot. But that's where they're going to get most of them, the big guys, on the missed jump shots.
Their direction is clear.
no problem for Tommy Penders and the rest of the team. Man-to-man right now. Typical Texas head up.
Jamal Walker had a big game last week against Georgetown, as well as Derek Strong. And Strong off the mark, rebounded by Panama Myers. Joey Wright inside to Colley. I'm surprised they've thrown it inside.
Ball timeout. That's not supposed to happen.
And Guillermo Myers,
he looks pretty good.
Panama Myers, knocked down.
Going after pretty strong.
And the personal foul was on Panama Myers. Early action up in the Meadowlands between Duke and UCLA. A 5-point lead as Connecticut came away with a 1-point victory over Clemson. They moved to the round of 8 up in the Meadowlands, awaiting the winner of Duke-UCLA.
The Xavier kids, talking to the coaches, they felt they were quiet but ready. You notice they went right to Strong. Of course, Hill, the other guy inside. Terrific inside players.
This is Brantley. He got the start in place of Michael Davenport.
Texas doesn't help much. It's all individual defense.
Tea time.
The kiss by him.
Tyrone Hill, nicknamed T. And foul whistled on Maurice Brantley of Xavier.
That's the difficulty. The foot speed. Can they match up with these quick, aggressive, dribble-minded guards? Now, that's a tough decision for Pete Gillen. You may see some early zone.
Xavier last week got their adrenaline flowing good by getting right up in Georgetown's necks on defense full court. Right, hammered by Jamal Walker.
He wanted an intentional foul. Joey Wright's one of the 3 that can go and hang and get to the foul line. They're very good at making sure they get something out of each offensive thrust.
No question that Joey Wright was on the receiving end of a vicious foul by Jamal Walker. Joey Wright, Dean's List student on this Texas ball club, one that is a very bright squad.
I sort of take offense, though. I was doing a stand-up routine for the Texas kids, and you had one-liner, and they went historical.
But I stole it from you.
They are a loose group. Goes to pressure after the made free throw. And see what Jamal Walker does. Containment, one of the things Texas is trying to do is play head-on-head on Jamal Walker and stay at home on the big guys.
Gladden. Jamie Gladden with the drive, and it's a 4-2 lead by Xavier.
Newcomer of the year, a talent.
Wright. And Wright answers right back. He was a runner-up, Mr. Basketball, in the state of Indiana in high school.
Buckle up at home. It's woo-woo up and down. Both offensive philosophies the same.
Here we go again. Blanks. Misses. Xavier on the line. It'll stay Texas's ball.
If you recall, Lance Blanks started the Purdue game the same way. He had a breakaway and didn't finish. Came out of it.
One thing about the trio from Texas, even if they are off the mark, they'll continue to put it up.
No, the conscience is not a problem.
Foul on Jamie Gladden.
A lot of the scouts here to see Travis Mays. You mentioned him academically, very sound. Before the Georgia game, he called back home there to the hospital. A youngster was there just to see how he was doing and thought he was going to play well for him. So there's a lot of depth in the college arena that doesn't get written up or given much attention.
Very caring young man, and also very effective from the free throw line where he shoots 80%.
I just think he was thinking of leaving the program. I don't think Penders would have arrived if Travis Mays left.
Tom Penders has never been accused of being dumb.
Well, Tommy mentioned for the Florida job, I think Tommy likes to shake it up, shake and bake, get everybody thinking about him, and then go to the bank in Austin.
1 for 2 for Travis Mays. 5-4 Texas lead.
And so far, Walker contained, hasn't been pushing himself.
Walker, nice pass back to Hill. Hill can't find the handle. Texas does.
Good give up.
Up ahead to Wright for 3. Blanks follows, can't find it.
Collie was wide open. Sorry, James.
Gladden. Here comes Mays. And he scores.
Saturday morning, teeing it up at 9 o'clock. If you lose, you don't play till 4. That's the kind of game, up and down. Stamina, the factor.
Reminds me of an organized playground game where you play all day and don't get tired.
Get the respirators ready. Tough shot.
Brantley forces one down the hoop. Maurice Brantley. Freshman. Inside to Collie. And Wright, shake and bake move. Good move by Joey Wright.
They got the numbers because Texas guys had fallen on the floor. Ooh!
And down on the floor hard was Brantley.
This may be intentional. I don't know.
A hard spill, but he gets back up, and thank goodness he looks to be okay. And that was reminiscent of last week's game when Derek Strong went down hard on that left shoulder of his.
Well, the Texas players got tangled up, opened it up for the numbers in Brantley, and you can see the legs. Well, not as intentional after you see it. Just ran into him trying to recover. But that is a difficult fall. Unfortunately, Brantley's fine.
Well, one of the reasons he was probably able to handle that fall very nicely is that he was a former high school football player, and he loves the physical stuff.
Likes to give and likes to get hit, huh?
No doubt about it. 5 points for Maurice Brantley, averaging only 3 on the season. Got the starting nod again in place of Michael Davenport, the freshman who sprained an ankle in the Midwestern Collegiate Conference Championship game.
Right now, the pace it's in favor of both teams. I just think Texas is having better opportunities. Nice post pass.
T. Hill can't find it. Right with the rebound.
Brantley's the guy I'd worked on. Tough shot.
Blanks.
Mays is playing by Brantley. I think he can do some damage. Xavier's going to have to penetrate, but just keep them honest by letting the big guys touch it. Don't force the issue on the perimeter.
So you like the Brantley-Mays matchup?
I think for Mays at the other end, and Brantley on this end. Here's the post up and no help.
Derek Strong. Rebounded by Joey Wright, who continues to do a nice job on the boards. 2 rebounds. Collins.
That's how they reward the big fellas. Get them up and down.
A 2-point Texas lead, 15:46 remaining in the first half. James Brown along with Bill Raftery. Second game of the semifinal action of this Midwest Regional here in Dallas.
Good job by Panabon Myers. He plays excellent defense as he did against Scheffler.
Jamal Walker. Fouled by Lance Blanks, and Jamal Walker, the junior from the Bronx, New York, had an outstanding game against Georgetown. Not so much from a scoring standpoint, but the way he orchestrated things.
Did you notice the defense didn't come up and help? The big guys locked in on their people. It's up to the containment of the guards. You can see here, no help whatsoever as Lance Blanks normally expects the help. They're not doing that. That's part of the preparation by Tom Penders.
Derek Strong takes a seat on the bench. Aaron Williams in for Xavier. And for Texas, Hank Dudek into the lineup. Walker at the free throw line. You know, Walker really talks a good game. As a matter of fact, when Derek Strong hit the floor last week, he had an interesting comment from Walker.
He said, "You just dunked on Alonzo Mourning. Get up." That's a leader for you. The problem with their philosophy of pressing, it turns Texas into more of a fast-breaking team. They have to be careful on the press and make sure they don't gamble.
Getting to know.
In the 80s, Honda became
Full-court press. And Dudek with the reach-in foul.
Well, they were almost in great position for a steal. Putting the ball in the big people's hands is the ideal of a press. You then can become creative with the traps, the slip behind, the deflections.
Dudek, number 41, playing in his hometown here in Dallas, Texas, from Jesuit High School, a junior.
How about him coming in with a sunburn the other day? Tommy Pettis, are we loose?
Davenport
Nice.
Inside to Williams.
Aaron Williams, we mentioned the other day, terrific reaction to the air, good shot blocker, but pressure can be diffused if you continually punish the reaction and the lack of slide from the top. Lance Blanks down just a tad late.
And Blanks picking up his second personal foul. That effort, Aaron Williams, a lefty who is playing in just his 3rd year of organized basketball, and really he's got some potential.
That he does. Of course, they were teasing about the missed free throw the other day, so he's part of the crowd. But they need all the help, need the rest at this fast pace for the big people.
Backcourt scoring, of course, the name of the game as Mays continues to add to it with another 3-pointer.
The philosophy of the fast-paced coach. I think the 90s will see more of it. Less mistakes when you take the quick shot. You get more shots. Good things happen for you. Part of the philosophy, get the threes. They add up, obviously, quicker than the twos. Go get the long rebounds and pressure.
9 quick points by Travis Mays, and certainly Loyola Marymount at the forefront of that.
Are they? I wonder what Magic Johnson thinks when he sees West End going up and down like this.
Boy, I wish he were there now, maybe, huh?
The old coach.
As Tyrone Hill drops in a deuce. For 3, Dudek on the rebound. And Hill grabs the Dudek miss.
And maybe a step right with the tag.
And Wright thought he had forced the walk before the contact. Second personal foul on Joey Wright.
Can you imagine the condition of these athletes, James, when they're going full tilt, 94 to score, and then getting back and playing aggressive man-to-man defense and not giving breakaways? I mean, it's a very demanding type of game.
Places a premium, obviously, on being in good condition. Michael Davenport back into the game as Walker takes the 3. Davenport, of course, as we mentioned, suffered the ankle sprain in the MCC championship game and is back to about 90%. As back into the game is Derek Strong, number 33, replacing Tyrone Hill. Brantley replaced as well by Jamie Gladden.
What Davenport brings is that shooting ability.
So Pete Gillen going to a quicker squad.
Now a 1-2-2 zone. They go down and through, try and get the corner jump shots.
Mays. Gladden.
Alley-oop, no. That's what Walker wanted.
In the paint. Jamie Gladden, 6-foot freshman. And it's an 18-17 Xavier lead.
The zone's going to make him make the jumps. Nice.
Good pass from Blanks into Dudak. Good look. Now, Billy, that kind of pass would be open all day with most of the defense concentrating on a trio out front.
On the jump shot, you better have your hands ready, huh? They don't look too often, but when they do, they're extremely selective.
True words never spoken as Davenport. Off with the three. Dudak with the rebound. Mays. Quick points by Travis Mays, the team's leading scorer at 24 game and the co-player of the year in the Southwest Conference, along with Lee Mayberry from Arkansas.
Difference in coaches. Pete Gillen, a more hands-on guy, does everything. Tom Pender's more of a community effort. Lets Jamie Campaglia run a lot of the practice, the tape, assist in some decisions. But
community effort, I like that.
The philosophies alike, though, in terms of getting it done.
Which were you?
I was a little bit of both. Particularly when we were behind, I relied on my assistants.
And right now, Xavier finds themselves behind, trailing by 3.
This fits in beautifully with this club. And the temperament to boot.
No doubt about the temperament. Give him an A. Tyrone Hill, A on that move. Nice crossover move by Tyrone Hill, his 6th point. Now in the NBA, they would call that a force out. They used to anyway.
Well, that's the first time I've seen the heads drop a little. Blanks forced it. Mays had been open. Yeah, the old force out was a welcome call for the officials.
10:46 remaining in the first half. Xavier trailing by 4. Walker. Good eyes, coach.
Got his feet tangled up.
In NCAA tournament action earlier today, it was Connecticut pulling out a last-second victory over Clemson. Arkansas, big win over North Carolina. And in women's action, Tennessee continuing to roll, hoping to play championship game in their home court. And the rest of the scores from women's play. Mays. Hill with the rebound.
Tommy Penders is going to give clinics on dribbling and shooting. He's not going to do any intricate sets. They're just bouncing it and looking for the jumper.
So you're saying not much in the way of X's and O's?
Well, he was a heck of an X and O coach at Fordham. And they changed his philosophy, I think, consistent with the young people in the game now. They have a different outlook. And the other thing, he never got on officials at all. It must be the air out here in the Southwest. Really, he never got technicals. All upset and having meetings with the commissioner of the Southwest Conference. A different guy. Because he was making a few more dollars. Maybe he's taking it more seriously.
That can be a catalyst. Texas now over the foul limit. Maurice Brantley at the free throw line. The 5 on the floor for Xavier. Derek Strong, Jamie Gladden, Michael Davenport, Maurice Brantley, and Tyrone Hill. Brantley got his first start of the season when Davenport hurt the ankle, and Strong with the rebound and the putback.
Curious to see if Pete Gillen goes to those bigger people. They are tough on the offensive board as well as down low.
Strong averaging 13 points a game with his first basket. 2 points on the evening.
Williams in, a little excitement, creative with the dribble, looks for the shot. And of course, Genes to give the guards some rest.
Not a good pass by Courtney Jeans. Here comes Xavier. Brantley. Myers with the rebound. Up to Mays. Ooh. Mays, bad pass.
Actually, Joe, they really didn't space the floor well. They didn't do a good. Jeans should have been way by the sideline. There wasn't a fast break.
Lance Blanks back in for Courtney Jeans. And Pete Gillen, you said, is a very animated coach in the sidelines and the way he works with his glasses.
He's great to watch. He's a simplistic type of guy. Hasn't changed a bit. I mentioned the other night, Eddie Bradrick, a friend of his, was just saying he doesn't know what suit he's going to wear. I mean, he's all basketball. Most coaches take a day and a half to figure out the combination.
And Strong. It took a second and a half for that play to develop as he powers his way in, drawing the second foul from Williams.
Well, the strength. Down low, gets their people in trouble, gives you high percentage chances, and also sets up the potential press.
You know, Tyrone Hill had been the guy so much of the promotional effort had focused on, but Strong certainly has an awful lot of potential, Bill.
And he said he's quiet. It didn't bother him that the ink was going to his partner, Tyrone Hill. And it really speaks well of him.
An 8-zip Xavier run. And Xavier out in front by 2.
That's the keep the hands up theory. Almost got a turnover.
9 minutes remaining in the first half. Mays. Nice move to the basket. Can't find the range. Here comes Gladden. Hill. Fouled by Panama Myers. And Panama Myers picks up his second personal foul.
Tyrone Hill can sprint the floor. He was down waiting. Gladden's bouncing, looking for an opening, and all of a sudden they step in by Hill.
So even if the big guy isn't scoring, there are other things the scouts look for.
Sure, he opened it up for Gladden. Then it was closed. He went to the goal. Very attentive.
George Muller, the 7'1" senior, in for Texas.
We saw Louis Orr in Indianapolis because he went to the same high school as Tyrone Hill. They must get in the same line in the cafeteria. Louis Orr, the old Syracuse great, New York Knickerbocker.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Hill with 6 points, 5 rebounds, averaging 20 points and 12 rebounds a contest. Conference Player of the Year in the Midwestern Collegiate Conference. Gives the Musketeers a 3-point lead over the Longhorns. 8:45 remaining in the first half. Williams slapped out front before the move to the basket by Derek Strong, and Strong picks up his first.
Now, James, you're not supposed to be able to dribble the length of the floor and get to the basket. You're supposed to pinch. But I just think they all have to pay attention to their individual man because they're so talented, and you've got to play your own. It puts a lot of stress on the individual setup.
Hayes being defended by Davenport.
He's got a little bounce in his game, doesn't he?
As does Williams. Rebounded Brantley. 5-on-5.
Always forcing you back, hoping you won't get set up defensively. Both clubs.
Hill. Strong.
Aptly named.
And it's a strong 11-zip run by Xavier. They're out in front by 5.
You know, key point in this game. The big guys
blocked by Brantley.
Brantley fouled. The big guys, Hill and Strong, don't have to guard on the one end, so they're fresh on this end. The offensive end to do the damage, pound the glass, do the offensive things that are necessary for Xavier. Then the other end, they can take a siesta. Their men aren't going to get the basketball anyhow.
Theoretically. Second personal on Brantley. 6th team foul. As Hank Dudek comes in to replace Williams. Benford Williams, but please call me Ben, he says.
Call us tonight.
Blanks has yet to score. And finally breaks the drought, averaging 20 points on the season.
Great athletic family. Dad Sid, we mentioned, the Houston running back, now in the agent business. Saw him in Indianapolis watching his youngster play.
And Blanks drops in the first Texas points in almost 4 minutes. It's a 3-point Xavier lead. Union Arena, Xavier on top by 3. Hank Dudek, Joey Wright, Travis Mays, Lance Blanks, and George Muller, the 5 on the floor defensively for Texas.
Jamal Walker pretty well contained, particularly by Lance Blanks. The big guys, I mean, look at that pin down.
Hill pump fakes the 7-footer and gets the roll.
You are the king when you shape up in that area. Defense unable to deny.
Hill showing no fear with his 9th point, and Joey Wright comes right back and drops in his 8th point.
Don't look down.
Davenport.
Now the officials doing a job here of letting them play. Hey, that was really a charge after the goal. Let it go. Of course, Walker now with a cheap one on his part.
Jamal Walker picking up his 2nd personal foul.
James with a high-low, such a pretty play in basketball. You see the space. You can't let the guy shoot. You got to be ahead of him. It's so difficult to pick a side, and who better than in the 3-second lane than the captain? And Nolan Richardson talking to one of the great people in the game of basketball, maybe 2 of the best in the game.
Willis Reed, of course, the man to whom Nolan Richardson was chatting with. Here to do a little scouting for his New Jersey Nets organization as Wright misses the free throw. And here come the Musketeers. Hill inside to his partner Strong, who's fouled by Hank Dudek before the shot. 2nd personal foul on Dudek.
Tommy looking, I know he's in trouble, but this is Tom's daughter, Carly, and she's as frustrated as the dad over the miss. But he's frustrated because they can't shut off the entry pass to the post. And Xavier, Pete Gillen known for up and down, using some strategy, pounding it in deep.
8 points and 6 rebounds for Derek Strong as Loxley Collie comes back in replacing George Muller. So Tom Penders doing his best to find an effective defensive combination.
The problem with Muller, he just slows them down a little bit. Not a bad player, but they love the up-tempo on both ends.
Strong with 9 points. 35-28 lead by Xavier. 7:02 remaining in the first half.
Pretty.
Nice pass from Mays to Dudek.
Well, great way to use the bounce. Open it up for others. Dudek really gives him a presence, though. Plays hard, steps it up.
Strong. Good move to get free. Tries to kiss it off the glass.
That play is killing him, James. Just a simple screen down and not good reaction by the Longhorns.
Strong is having his way on the inside, Billy.
He is, and that could be problems eventually.
The 3-point shot is missed by Blanks.
Texas being outrun here.
And Walker, Strong, powering his way up.
Just destroying the inside, people. Texas looks a little tired. Do you ever think you'd hear that or have me say that? 11
first half points from Derek Strong and Xavier with a 7-point lead. The 6th-seeded Musketeers playing the number 10 seed, Texas. Collie. And Collie really looks tentative on the inside as Strong is just intimidating him with the strength. Mays. Walker. Out to Brantley.
Ferocious.
And Tom Penders, knowing he's got to adjust, calls a timeout. The first half, James Brown along with Bill Raftery. A 39-32 Xavier lead. And the Musketeers have done it on the inside with one half of the combination right here. Derek Strong dropping in his 13th point in the first half.
James, you can't let the ball, the entry pass, get to the foul line and succeed. It changes the whole, breaks the defense down, changes the whole game.
Blanks. And the foul is going to be called on Hank Dudek.
Durek, we've just seen him with that ability to hold people. There's the breakdown, and of course the finish. He's got a nice inside-outside kind of game, and Texas in trouble because they can't deny.
And Xavier doing the job along the front line, which is what Tom Penders was most afraid of. As Hank Dudek picks up his third personal foul, and Ben Williams will come in to replace him. Tyrone Hill, the other half of that twin tower combination for the Musketeers. 9 points, 7 rebounds thus far. And he's got half his season's average now. Now, he mentioned to us last week that he really didn't have the pro scouts in mind, but clearly his teammates said he really does want to impress the scouts.
Apparently he used to get upset in high school if he wasn't doing well. He quit the team a few times.
No quit in him now.
And the coach was saying to me that yeah, he wants to be a pro. He wants to make money for his family. Nice touch.
43-32, Xavier lead. 4:10 remaining.
You know, Texas is in trouble. They're running plays. A double screen and then a brush on the single post. Tommy knows they're in trouble, particularly because of this inside person.
Colley with the rebound. Aggressive. And this young man with the ball, Blanks, has been firing blanks in the first half. 0 for 6. His points all from the free throw line, and he's only got 2.
How about that for a semi-change where you turn your back for a spin dribble and continue? Parker, a perimeter shooter, he's put into play one of the better offensive players. Look at that semi-spin and bring it back. Of course, in the old days, that would have been a carry. But there's no such thing anymore.
Earl Monroe started that change.
Earl, you can bring your luggage. Change of laundry and the ball.
Travis Mays with 17 first-half points. Scored a career-high 44 in the opening round of the NCAA tournament against SEC regular season champion Georgia.
These two young coaches have been thought of for all jobs. I know Mike Francesa has talked and will talk about it. Gillen doesn't want to talk to anybody until it's all over, then he will. He's comfortable. Supposedly Virginia talked to him in January. He said wait till the season's over. So he's got a purpose in mind.
And of course that happens with a lot of the fast-rising new coaches on the scene. Strong.
Oh, they are just doing a great job with high-low. So much for the charade of not running anything by Xavier.
A lot of unselfishness between Hill and Strong. And Wright answers with the 3. That quickly. Back to a 6-point lead.
I must commend Jamal Walker. He has played within himself and gotten the ball to these inside people. Look at this.
Hill.
Forget it.
Count the basket, and the foul is on Ben Williams. His third personal foul. And you gotta like the patience that Xavier is displaying to get the ball inside.
Well, they've got spacing necessary. The ball is permitted to enter, and then the step in to shape up the seal, and of course the tiny kiss. And that is doomed for the inside defenders right now.
Tom Penders trying to go big with Benford Williams picking up his third personal, bringing in George Muller. Meanwhile, Hill will try to add to his 13 points. Blanks with the rebound. 2:50 remaining in the first half. 8-point Musketeers lead. Musketeers' highest seeding ever in the NCAA tournament. Number 6. Blanks for 3.
Well, Muller got away with one. You got steps or out of bounds?
You got it. Out of bounds. Connecticut, best squad in the 90-year basketball history, advances on. 2 ACC teams knocked out with Clemson and North Carolina. And yet another game added, a close affair. 23 games total, decided by 4 points or less.
Connecticut sounds a nice look again. The ability to sacrifice by Walker and the presence of mind to feel to turn and face. A lot of big guys don't create that opening for the dish.
First personal on Muller as Michael Davenport comes back in for Jamal Walker. So you like the composure that Walker has displayed thus far.
Tom Murray would be very proud. His high school coach at Cardinal Hayes. He can be electrifying in the open floor, but containing himself at this point.
And especially given that Penders didn't think that he could beat them.
No, Tom thought that they could play him one-on-one and then damage them by staying at home on the big guys. But the big guys are devastating in their bumps and in their presenting themselves through the basketball.
And here is one half of that devastating big guy combination. Tyrone Hill, 14 points, 7 rebounds, all in the first half.
Because Tommy's kids are so quick to score that they can get right back in things. But I would be concerned on how I deny in the second half the post pass.
10-point Musketeers lead with 2:08 remaining.
A little bit of a combination right now. Running their zone stuff down and through, post up on occasion. We've seen Mays, now Wright is there. Look at 3 people, nice look.
Muller, blocked by Strong.
Can't get better, just got to finish. Little zone by Texas right now, 2-3.
Two-man game between Strong and Hill drops in his 17th first half point.
He can play. I mean, he can shoot the jumper. We've seen him finish it close to the goal.
Blanks. 0 for 8 from the floor for Lance Blanks. And what a terrible first half for him. Boy, would he love to have some of those.
Well, they have the ability to step up the guards. If one guy's off, the other 2. But tonight, not a great night by the guards. Great defense, even again in the zone. They just have been tagging them, knowing exactly where they are.
1:10 remaining in the first half. And one thing we do know about Texas, they can quickly shoot themselves back into it.
Sure, a couple of stops, a couple of mistakes. Look at this. Quick
Davenport.
shot.
And Mays steps on the out-of-bounds line, goes back to Xavier with under a minute to play in the first half as Tom Penders.
To close out the coaching thoughts, I said to Tom last night, you know, it must be tough coaching when you don't know which airport to fly home to. Everybody after him.
Right. Fouled by Colin Parker. At the conclusion of every NCAA tournament game, we will select the Chevrolet Players of the Game. In conjunction with the award, Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of both schools.
Is that typical of the half so far? They haven't made those easy ones, which we've seen them do, both live and in tape. They haven't been able to generate anything out of their press. And, of course, the big people at a disadvantage against the great inside offense of Xavier.
Joey Wright doing his part, averaging 19 points on the season. He's dropped in 13 first half points to go along with 3 assists. Well, Billy, certainly with the good 3-point shooters on this Texas ball club, no lead is really a big lead.
Well, they got it. Make this one, they've got it to 10, a stop with the ball. All of a sudden, you're in single digits. But the concern is defensively on Strong and Hill. 2-3 might slow them down a little bit. The wings and the top of the key are open. This takes the big guys out of the game.
7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Strong really finds holes, doesn't he?
That he does. Parker.
Perimeter
Two-point shot by Colin Parker, and it's a 12-point lead with under 10 seconds in the first half. Mays from downtown. Strong up to Davenport. Stolen by Mays. And that'll do it for the first half. That's the end of the first half with the score. 53-41 Xavier. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA basketball will continue after this message from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Semifinal game from Dallas, Texas is sponsored by IBM. Whatever your size, whatever your...
1 second left. Clemson leading by 1. Connecticut bringing the ball in. Here's our Dick Stockton with the call.
Here goes the long pass with 1 second to go. The shot. Yes! The shot's going to count. The shot by Tate George wins it.
A shocked Clemson team after that game, and many thought that perhaps Clemson was robbed. What is the ruling, Mike, about how a game is officially ended?
It's not the clock. It's not the light. Pay attention to the horn. When the horn goes off, the game is over.
Okay, Mike, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to delete the play-by-play call now of Dick Stockton and just listen to the Nat sound and listen for the buzzer after the ball's released. It was legit. Furthermore, we checked the front end of it, and the clock started on time. Now, if you are not sure you caught that one correctly, let's go back, Mike, and hear it one more time, again, without the play-by-play call. Listen for the horn. Tate George nails it. Connecticut moves on now to the Great 8 and will await the winner of the UCLA-Duke game that's taking place right now. Now, Mike, what about the inbounds pass there for the Huskies?
One thing to watch there, freshman Scott Burrell, who inbounds the pass, was a first-round draft pick of the Seattle Mariners. Pitcher throws 95 miles an hour. He threw a strike there. That pass set up that play. Tate George hits the jumper, but that pass right on the money.
Excellent point. And UConn in the final.
Beyond the season's average in the first half, 61%. Frontline production, a whopping 45 points and 17 rebounds between Tyrone Hill, Derek Strong, and Maurice Brantley. And the leading scorers, Travis Mays with 18 for Texas. Tyrone Hill with 17 for Xavier. But the big news for Texas, 0 for 8 from the field for Lance Blanks, only 2 points. And that from a young man who averages 20 points a game.
Colley and Myers, big players this half. 1-3-1 out of the gate. And Tommy Penders, I'm sure, did get their attention. I just think they were not emotionally involved.
And Jamal Walker drops in his 4th point. And Bill, you thought he played a key role in the first half, but yet he only has 4 points.
Very much under control. Got the big guys involved. Nice little pick and roll here. They need a little life, Texas. I just think maybe they don't want to play Arkansas. They haven't had much luck with them, but it just seems they were lethargic, maybe not respecting Xavier, and certainly not the big guys.
Tommy Penders up and active, as one would expect, as Wright can't find the range in the middle, and Tyrone Hill comes down with the rebound and twists that right ankle.
He didn't step on a foot, which is a fortunate situation. Normally when you come down like that, if you land on a foot, you get a severe turn, but he seems pretty good. And none of the coaches or trainer came out, so therefore no sub necessary and no timeout. But the dribble penetration ineffective, and
he did get the foot.
He did get a little foot.
Got the edge of Brantley's foot.
Yeah.
And how many times have we seen that? Tyrone Hill, one strong young man, believes in season weight training as well.
Man this trip.
Hill. Yes. That's a good way to take his mind off the ankle.
Well, Jamal, his pal is Rod Strickland, correct?
Absolutely.
I don't think Rod makes a post pass even that good.
Jamal said he's a little upset that he hasn't heard from Rod Strickland as of yet. Especially after the victory over Georgetown, as Mays goes up for 3. Rebounded by Colley. And Colley.
They are on the ropes right now, pulling the string a little. pressing somewhat, and this Xavier team loose and confident.
Blanks throws up a running shot for his first field goal. That in the second half, and it was of that variety.
Well, Lance is giving a little show to the crowd. I think I'd be delighted that there is a guy that this particular release goes in. But one of the few times all night Xavier doesn't get back. Of course, the foul maybe caused the walk at the end of that, so a very fortunate event for Lance Blanks.
That was real presence of mind, though, to continue with the shot.
Very much so. They need something out of their defense now. I think Xavier has been exploiting, penetrating, probing, and all because of the softness of the Texas defense.
Musketeers up by 13. Just underway here in the second half. Gladden slicing his way, misses. Hill with the follow, strip. Right.
He's their best 10 to 12 foot jump shooter. The other two long distance, Blanks and Mays. But they got to get something on the defensive end if they're going to get in it.
Myers with the steal.
Bad angle on the pass by Walker.
The lead is down to 9. Collins. And Gillett calls timeout.
In a hurry, you don't get the right angle, good front. We mentioned Myers' ability to turn an entry pass into a break the other way. And one of the few times the big guys have gotten down the floor have been a factor for Texas.
Texas has scored 5 straight points in 40 seconds. It's down to a 9-point Xavier lead. Walker pushes it back to 11.
The post people stepped up so high, there wasn't any defensive help on the turn on the baseline.
Blanks. Seems like he's got the range now.
A clear out down the middle. Nice spin move as he collected his feet, and really no pinch by Xavier.
Not a bad move by Penders to make that call to get Blanks' confidence back.
Tommy really has done some things to get them going a little bit. I think it's stepped it up on this end. They're much more aggressive.
And luck that time on a strong miss. 2 inches from the basket.
I just think Strong and Hill don't have to guard enough. They can relax. Hill's just stand straight up.
Texas can cut it to at least 7.
An assist just like he did there.
Mays taking it to the basket and scores. And it's down to 7.
Walker time now. Get it to the right people or penetrate. Good look.
Good pass. And Strong scores. Nice pass from Tyrone Hill.
They're both adept at walking their man up and creating room for that lob to the goal.
61-52, Xavier lead. 15-55. This is Blanks. And a push-off foul on Tyrone Hill. And a tight one up in the Meadowlands. Duke holding on to a 1-point lead over the Bruins. Under 7 to play there.
It has been wild, hasn't it? Every score that rolls on the screen. Incredible competition. And a break here as Texas gets it back. I believe that was on Hill.
Second personal on him. Second team foul. Right, one-on-one move. Over top of Jamie Gladden.
What they're doing is they've got everybody spread, so you've got 15, 18 feet in the middle of the floor to do your magic. Not enough room for people to get over.
Hill, luckily, his teammate was there. Hill was starting to make the move before he got it.
Good close off by Wright.
Good stop and pop by Brantley.
Whew. What an addition to this club with Davenport having problems with the foot.
And Brantley comes off the bench to start, averaging only 3 points, and he's got 10 on the evening.
And James, a 1-2-2. You see how spread it is? They post up in the middle or go through to the corner for the jump shot.
Mays
clubs dribble all the way to the goal against the zone. Texas can do it.
Well, now, if the Dallas Mavericks had any concerns about Mays' ability to drive to the hoop, he's answered it tonight. Foul by Walker. Jamal Walker picks up his third personal.
Travis can be amazing with the bounce. Very good. You're right. We're talking to Rick's son, who likes him a lot, and said, I haven't seen him go to the hole a great deal. Director of player personnel.
You know, we teased Tony Penders last week for being so guard-oriented and accusing him of that philosophy because he was a guard. But he said, hey, next year I will have some big players who are offensively minded. We'll go inside then.
And I said Joey Wright will transfer.
And here is Wright for three. Down to a 4-point Xavier lead.
Great deflection
by Blanks. And Walker trips Mays and no call. Gladden misses, but followed by Hill. And Panama Myers is going to be called for the foul as he undercut Tyrone Hill, who fell on the nape of his back.
I don't know if they give it to Joey Wright. I think they may, but you're right. Panama was involved as well. A trip out by half court causes the turnover. And, of course, one of those nickel-dimers, I don't mind the non-call on this, but we mentioned the speed of Hill. He wasn't even at half court, gets in, gets involved, and he has some ferocious falls this game. A certain toughness with those skinny guys.
And you are correct. It was Wright. Picked up his third personal foul. Tyrone Hill steps to the line. 19 points, 10 rebounds. Hill pushes Xavier out in front, 66 to 59, as Michael Davenport replaces Jamal Walker.
The move here, save Walker, obviously fouls as well, but now you've got the newcomer of the year, Gladden, running your offense, who is not too bad either, and maybe more under control for Pete Gillen.
Blanks gets by Davenport, blocked by Williams, but a foul is going to be whistled against Tyrone Hill, his third. And again, if you're joining us late up in the East region, Connecticut gets by Clemson by 1. Arkansas, a big winner that is 23 over Carolina. And in women's play, Tennessee moves to the round of 8. Washington over South Carolina. And Texas. Boy, talk about a rolling machine there. Victorious, and Virginia. And Auburn winners.
Pressure on Tommy Penders. Because maybe Connecticut, they say you always have to sneak by one. And we wouldn't view the game, but Clemson must have gave him a great run for that win. And maybe that's the one that Connecticut sneaks by and gets them a little further.
Basketball enjoyed by all, including Jimmy Johnson, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He's a big basketball fan anyway.
Loves the game. When he was at Miami, he was involved with Tito Hortford, helping to recruit him to that program for Bill Foster.
Colley, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and it's a 6-point ball game. 13:42 remaining in the contest. Strong, blocked by Myers. And a foul whistled on Joey Wright, and if it is, that's his 4th.
And that puts him in a hole.
Tom Penders quickly finds a sub and Courtney Jeans.
You can't continue to let Strong get it right there. He becomes the king for the moment. Myers relying on his quickness and his elevation, but Strong will pump fake and go under and get the potential 3-point play. They've got to step up in the lane and make him go backwards.
Joey Wright takes a seat with 4 personal fouls and 22 points he carries to the bench.
You always like those confrontations in front of your bench. It brings out the lawyer in you. Pete Gillen, Fairfield grad.
The lawyer?
The lawyer. The ability to persuade.
Well, I'm sure Tom Penders likes to see the emotion. Brantley stripped by Mays, and Mays thinking they had all ball.
Well, the Arkansas influence assisting the Texas crowd as well, helping to officiate. But that's what they're good at, getting those hands active. And it's all set up by the feet, the ability to move. See the initial touch, of course, the ride out too. But look at the leg work. That's not easy. You can't be lazy.
Of course, this Texas crowd would love to see an all-Southwest Conference regional final here between Arkansas and Texas.
That'll get you back in games.
No doubt about it.
Shoot them like that. Interesting, Hill gets a little blow after the bad fall. Aaron Williams out right now as Hill comes back in.
And Brantley gets it back to Gladden and pushed from behind. Loxley Collie fouled by Derek Strong. James Brown along with Bill Raftery coming to you from Reunion Arena. The second game of this Midwest Regional semifinal action. Texas trailing Xavier by 6. The lead had been 14 by the Musketeers. And Texas has shot its way back into the game.
Some emotion. Penders reached them. They were detached, I thought, not involved. And all of a sudden, they're back at it.
I think Xavier got their attention.
Here's the clear in the middle.
Blanks draws the foul and scores.
They just spread it so far, and individually they're so good. Everybody stays at home on the wing. Davenport on the one side, Gladden on the other. And boy, the field, the NBA field. Pump, get him up, get that contact, and drill it.
I take it you like that.
I do. It's amazing at a young age what kids pick up.
So Maurice Brantley apparently is going to stay in the game with 4 personal fouls. As Blanks drops in his 10th point, 8 of those coming in the second half.
Poise right now. Walker's got to get it to the right spot. And this generally, and the push off by Hill. The angle of the pass, James, caused the foul. Dead on line with your postman. You've got to dribble down, get the proper position to make the entry pass. They've done it a couple of times. You want the big guys involved, but you got to do it correctly.
It's been cut to 3. Earlier today, Arkansas got by North Carolina in convincing fashion to move to the round of 8. Xavier, Texas, the winner of this contest, will move to the region final as well. And right now, it's a toss-up. Xavier's biggest lead was 57-43 with 17 minutes to go. We're now down to a 3-point Xavier lead with 12:38 remaining. James Brown along with Bill Raftery. And good Midwest Regional semifinal action.
And when Xavier gets the ball, I'll be curious if Pete Gillen didn't say to Jamal Walker in the time, hey, you've got to get back to your game now. You've run it, you've gotten the big guys involved. Texas is playing better defense. They're fronting, they're in position now. You've got to get into it, get frenetic, get yourself going. The crazy style of play that he's so good at is lacking right now. Xavier needs that.
Guillermo Panama Myers from Panama City, Panama, considered to be the most improved player in the conference the last month as he misses the second free throw. 1 of 2 cuts the Xavier lead to 2. Davenport, scoop shot. Strong, blocked by Collins.
What an effort by Davenport. Almost got the skimmer in. Nice call, the shuffle cut, and then the dribble off the bump. And this is just great pursuit, knocking it back. That's what Texas has done. They've elevated their emotions.
Myers and Colley, especially on the inside. Strong from the outside. Derek Strong is really impressing, folks. 19 points.
They're sticking with the 2 big guys, aren't they? Because anytime you let the ball in that top of the key foul line area, that guy can do some amazing things.
Blanks. Myers, big rebound. Strong and even bigger.
Bigger is right.
Here comes Walker. You said he had to turn it on, and he does.
That's his game.
Back to a 6-point lead for Xavier. Plenty of time, though, Bill. 11:30 remaining. This is the kind of game you were expecting.
Yeah, very much. I thought Texas was not themselves. Here's the clear again in the middle. Look at how he moves.
Now, how is it that anyone ever thought that Mays couldn't penetrate?
Look at this again. Oh, Jamal.
Walker answering the challenge.
Everybody reaching for the dribble. You got to stay at home. You don't reach. Move the legs.
Blanks operating on Davenport. And is fouled by Michael Davenport, his first personal.
Well, the guards on Texas are renowned with their ability to create, usually the jump shot, but Jamal Walker, sometimes out of control, but most times extremely effective.
What New York City guard do you know who wouldn't answer the challenge?
Oh, there is something about kids who love to play in the schoolyard. They just like to take it at people.
Jamie Gladden into the game for Xavier, replacing Colin Parker. Lance Blanks steps to the free throw line. Plays 3 different spots on the squad for Texas, leading in assists and steals. And he was perfect on the free throw line until that missed. 5 of 6 for Lance Blanks. And a 5-point Xavier lead with 10:40 remaining in the contest.
Texas switching the inside play, and nice move by Hill to get free.
Strong likewise.
Drew the double. Nice giveaway. T. Hill. Clear on the one side now. Hill doing a nice job helping here.
Mays. Colley. Good pump fake and a strong move by Loxley Colley, the 6'7" junior from Nassau.
Well, get your balance when you hit the defender. That's what he did to Hill. Nice help.
And Panama Myers will be called for the foul. That'll be number 3 on Panama Myers. 4th team foul on Texas. Walker, Strong, Davenport, Hill, and Gladden, the 5 in for Xavier. Walker shot, rebounded by Texas. 2-on-1, Blanks. He scores. Good, no call.
How about passing the ball?
But they know better.
Well, I guess if you do it, then I can do it the next time. Myers really steps it up defensively. Now he switches to Strong.
And throws it away. Here's Colley. Followed by Myers.
How about that for effort?
Lance Blanks picks up his 3rd personal foul as Jamal Walker was dribbling along in front of
You saw that.
Pete Gillen. He kept trying to signal a timeout. Walker had everything but that in mind.
He had no shot whatsoever. Then he waved it off once he got fouled.
And I'm sure Gillen probably said, good drive, Walker, good drive.
Congratulating him. He loves to put it on the floor and go all the way.
Maurice Brantley into the game, replacing Michael Davenport.
Give it up. Is there something wrong with me? Wasn't there somebody ahead?
Texas is now by 1.
full with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never lets you down.
Mr. Ian McKenzie. I'm Angus McKenzie. Ian's moved down the road.
Today, with service to 175 countries.
Oh, you've been wanting you now, Mr. Mackenzie.
UPS delivers to nearly 4 billion people.
Parcel for McKenzie.
Including the extraordinary...
As Texas has taken its first lead since 24-23. Mays, good head fake. And blocked from behind by Williams.
Good job by Williams. Not too many transition baskets for Xavier. Excellent balance and speed as they get back and protect.
And excellent defense by Courtney Jeans. Texas's defense has been key in this run as well. Mays has 3 of the 9 steals for Texas.
Jeans has to run the show when he's out there, not make mistakes. Give Joey Wright a blow.
Jeans tried to keep it alive.
Nice look.
And Williams goes up for the dunk, but gets fouled by Courtney Jeans.
Everybody in the building pretty much involved. And Tommy's little girl gets a little excited. A little prayer, a little wish. Carly Penders had some joy. She may have seen that double dribble as well.
Isn't it past her bedtime?
It sure is. But why go now?
Like his little sister, Tommy Penders Jr. can't quite handle the excitement.
Well, when they say different strokes for different folks, he either saw the double dribble or he's saying, oh no, where's my dad going now? Pretty good player, too. Tommy said he's going to prep next year.
Williams. And welcome to those of you who are watching the Duke-UCLA game. Back here in the Midwest Regional Semifinal action in Dallas, Texas and Xavier all tied up at 75 apiece. It had been a 14-point Xavier halftime lead, and Texas using good defense, 4 steals back into the game. Sleight of hand pass tried by Colley, recovered by Myers. This is Blanks. Ball knocked out of bounds, and it stays Xavier as Tyrone Hill comes back in. Tyrone Hill had 17 first-half points, and Texas really has done the job on the inside. He's only got 3 in the second half as Duke has moved out in front of UCLA. So the big fellas for Texas really have stepped up defensively.
Oh, they sure have. But, and the other end of it is the offense. They've been turning the corner in the middle of the floor. Now they've got a double high post, so they're jamming that up. So you might see some wing or baseline jumpers.
To embellish that point a bit more, Derek Strong had 15 first-half points. He's only got 6 in the second half. So Tom Penders apparently appealed to his team's manhood as Colley. This is rebounded by Myers.
Panama violating your rule. Panama, when you get it, you have the right to go back up strong. The poor guy. They've got to squeeze at the big guys once in a while to see if it's alive.
Blanks. Rebounded by Colley.
The bounce killed him.
Gladden forced out by Jeans. Brantley. Brantley really has played a fine ball game. 12 points in a starting role, only averages 3. And Xavier out in front by 2. And that's a final up east as Duke moves to the round of 8 to meet Connecticut on Saturday in that regional final up there. Right here, the winner of this contest will face Arkansas, a big winner over Carolina, and a kick ball. And a fresh 45 as Joey Wright comes back in to replace Courtney Jeans. So Wright coming back in with 4 personal fouls and 22 points. welcome to those of you who are watching the Duke-UCLA contest, in which Duke won here in Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. Texas and Xavier battling a 2-point ball game. Xavier on top. James Brown along with Bill Raftery. Xavier in the white uniforms. Texas in the brown. And Texas had been trailing by 14 points at the halfway mark. Texas's front line scoring has really gotten back into the ball game along with the backcourt. Texas, thanks to a 32-18 run, trailing by just 2.
They were not in it emotionally. Their defense stepped up, became a factor, took Strong and Hill out of the game. And on the offensive end, they were able to dribble, penetrate, and drill their jumpers.
Right.
That is their game right there.
24 points for Joey Wright. Walker. Blanks.
The high percentage Texas variety of shot.
A Texas layup, if you will. And it's a 2-point Texas lead with 4:49 remaining.
They've been effective getting it to the high post and then down low. Strong or Hill popping up.
Strong drops in the basket. Derek Strong with 23 points. 15, of course, coming in the first half, and we're tied again.
Big guys relax defensively when they get tired. They give up areas of the floor they should not. Texas has to concern themselves with that.
Blank. Circus move counts.
Well, it's a little premature to get into the moonwalk, but a very inferior first half for Lance Blanks. He's starting to light it up. Of course, the touch, the awareness, and the release. Now, I've seen you dance. You don't have those kind of moves, James.
I think mine are a little nicer.
You're more of the foxtrot variety.
Blanks draws the 4th personal foul on Tyrone Hill. And talk about a half turnaround. Lance Blanks had 2 points in the first half. He's got 20 now.
Little 2-3 zone now. Force the outside shot, take the big guys out of the game. Very important for Texas. They've been struggling in low post.
Walker. Hill. Texas ball. Not enough credit given to Panama Myers and Loxley Colley for the job defensively done on Hill and Strong.
The last 10 years, you say, well, get a good shot, get it inside. No, not Texas. Their philosophy is get the feet set and drill it. That's our high percentage shot.
White throws it off of Hill's leg. 3:29 remaining. Texas on top by 3, 82-79.
They went man-to-man on the out-of-bounds, so you might look for some dribble drive.
Mays drives and scores. Hill. Collins with the rebound.
A little spread offense now, a little time war. The automatic.
Blanks. Oh, with the automatic.
That is a tough angle for a kiss. Gorgeous goal. Oh, my offense.
He was in the air.
Oh, he
should have been.
Mays put the foot out and initiated the contact. You can be moving backwards and draw a charge, a tough call.
I think it was a good call. irrespective of what the foot did.
Well, the foot goes right into the defender. Well, he did move after, but look at that. Initiating the contact with the sole of the shoe. Ooh. Not set, though, and then you can move backwards. You're correct.
A 19-5 Texas run in the last 6 minutes, and the Longhorns, the running Longhorns, out in front by 7.
There's another thing, too. Clubs now go on runs, and coaches, a lot of them let their players dictate style, what shot they want. They don't call a timeout, save them as late as they can because of the pressing situations late in the game. But this is a situation where Pete Gillen on the offense really has to get the shot he cares for his selection.
Two for two for Mays.
Score and timeout, I would think, on this if they can. Still the 2-3.
Blanks. Walker for Xavier, and Pete Gillen calls timeout. Texas up by 9.
For 1990, some Oldsmobiles are new.
And that's why Pete was saving it. Difficult to sit there. Here's a great play, and at the end, defensively, which has really gotten Texas to go. In your heyday, or maybe in Chubby Checker's heyday, you couldn't do the twist like Lance Blanks.
I think that underscores the point we made at the top of the show. Better than anything, these kids are having fun.
They sure are. They
Mirrors the
are
coaches.
into it. They have to come up with some traps and some gambles, and they get a little tic-tacker in the backcourt. You know, both of these coaches, though, James, when you think of it, very similar. Pete Gillen is still a Brooklyn guy. He's more apt to go down to the corner and pick up a racing form. And you think of Penders at the other end, he's gone a little upstream. He's more apt to go to the country club now and have that Wall Street Journal delivered. Forgetting the past. Now we got them to play some defense, and it really took Xavier out of a terrific game plan. Inside
Jamie
power.
Gladden goes out. Derek Strong back in. Lance Blanks, no question about it. Shooting blanks in the first half with only 2 points. 22 second half points. He was 0 for 8 from the field in the first half. Texas now enjoys a 10-point lead with 2:11 remaining.
You can see where Lance has some problems in visiting courts. He just had to rub it in a little bit, doesn't he? He's had his difficulties with some fans and coaches in the Southwest Conference. The 2-3 has been a great help to Texas. Took away the inside power. And
College with the rebound. Now, what he doesn't want to do, although he was playing aggressively, he hit Davenport with an elbow, but little does he know that Davenport is a black belt in karate, learned from his father who learned in Thailand, so he better think twice.
And that's the first note you memorized on this trip, who to stay away from. But this is really not necessary. You're right, it is physical play, but the extra, that could have been a 2-shot foul, that elbow.
Thank goodness Davenport is about as easy going to play as you'll find. Colley, 7 points, 13 rebounds, contributing to the down looks on the faces of Xavier players. Colley really has done the job defensively, Raph. And Panama Myers, absolutely.
And they're not big, they're mobile, aggressive, and they play without getting that carrot. An occasional shot.
Or pass.
There's the Musketeers, the Xavier nickname. They got to pull one out like the old Three Musketeers used to. Score quickly, no timeouts, get in their press, give it up.
Under 2 to play. as Walker kisses it off the glass.
Good job here. Now they got a trap. Because Texas really not known to use the clock. Wasted about 5 seconds for the giveaway. And Carly can relax, huh, Daddy? Well, not really. We've been at 44. She wants that time to move.
Fourth personal on Davenport as Susie Penders, obviously in good spirits and relaxed, while hubby is down on the floor continuing to direct traffic. Jamie Gladden comes in to replace Michael Davenport for Pete Gillen.
And Davenport really still struggling with the after effects of that ankle injury.
White 4 of 5 from the line tonight. Doesn't get the roll.
They got a chance. Get it to single digits.
It's a 10-point Texas lead. Off the mark.
And there's that play. He didn't learn the first time.
And that's exactly what Wright is talking with him about now.
Now this is great though. See, years ago people would say this is dissension. I enjoy this. They're saying, hey, you've got to start using your head. We want to win this. We want to move on to the next round. And really the step through, speaking of karate, one of the better moves. And Loxley did not learn from the earlier incident.
And speaking of karate, Davenport back into the game for Xavier.
Can shoot it.
Here's Gladden. Blocked. And the foul is going to be called on Panama Myers. And that is 4 on Panama. And again, Blanks huddles the team just outside of the free throw line to tell the guys, let's keep it under control. A 10-point lead with 1:31 remaining. Texas angling for an all-Southwest Conference Final 8. To make that final in the regional right here on Saturday. Aaron Williams in for Tyrone Hill.
Rest him on the one end. Of course, give the foul right away. He can get back in the game. It's not a matter of little offense, defense, quick springing, fresh legs, and Aaron Williams. Extraordinary effort. Pete Gillen and his kids. Time left. Could steal it. But reality starting to maybe catch up with the bench as they looked a little dejected earlier.
Big rebound by Panama Myers as Mays says, give me the ball, let me take it.
They're trying to give one. Play keep away. You want to keep the ball moving.
Colley, foul by Williams.
Nice job by Williams. Springy, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Really good reaction. You thought he was going to be a good one. Young player. In what minutes early in his career?
Not carrying much weight in the air, so he can fly.
But this is a tape that Pete Gillen's going to look at and say, how did we let it get away? And it's really attributable to the defense inside by Texas. They stepped it up, wouldn't let the high-low sets go, wouldn't let the post-ups go. And Jamal Walker, who had played under control, never could get back to that normal type of basketball he possesses.
Distinct change from the first half when Xavier's front line, the threesome, accounted for 45 points. Colley having trouble finding the range. Wholesale change at that time for Texas. Courtney Jeans, Panama Myers, Loxley Colley, Travis Mays, and Lance Blank, the 5 on the floor for Texas.
Jamie Campaglia. Of course, he was a great help. That's the assistant on the screen on the right. There's a lot to do for Tommy. Played at Wagner for P.J. Carlissimo, by the way.
An 11-point Texas lead with 1:13 remaining. And Walker misses. Blanks is fouled by Jamie Gladden. So with 1:02 remaining, it looks like it could be an all-Southwest Conference Midwest Regional Final on Saturday. And they've met before here. Arkansas, a big winner over North Carolina, the first game. And in the East, the dream is still alive for Connecticut, #1 seed. They will play Duke. And what has taken place here, Arkansas, 96-73 winner over North Carolina. And Texas right now enjoying a 13-point lead with under a minute to play. So it will be Texas and Arkansas once again. Strong.
They don't want to stop the clock, even if it didn't mean a deuce. And that is it. The limit for Lance Blanks. He didn't stay silent too long, did he?
Well, Blanks comes up with one impressive game tonight. 0 for 8 from the floor in the first half, only 2 points, and he scores 26 points in the second half.
Well, they're going to get their shots so they don't back off. I mean, they're going to pout and put their head down. They have a loose gun on this team with 3 guards.
Billy, really a distinct change in the style of play and the attitude of the players from when we played. 0 for 8 in the first half.
I was so tired of running the shuffle cut when I played, and then working it for 30 and then ended up with a 20-foot jumper. It is an alarming situation now in coaching where a lot more coaches are giving the players the freedom to dictate and reacting to them. It's quite an adjustment because a lot of coaches were trained under very studious and regimented clinicians of the game, and it's really entirely different than our generation was taught.
25 points, 13 rebounds for Derek Strong. Impressive outing for that young man. And Mays fouled by Derek Strong, and when he fouls, you feel it. Coming up tomorrow here on CBS, you'll see an outstanding lineup in the Southeast, Michigan State and Georgia Tech. That'll be a good one. And Minnesota and Syracuse. Clem Haskins will be facing Derek Coleman, who is on an absolute tear. And out west, UNLV and the surprising Ball State. And Loyola Marymount will run into a good Alabama squad. All of that coming your way tomorrow right here on CBS. Travis Mays. Xavier, seeing him light him up for 28 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. I think that's a pretty fair outing.
In no way the different attitudes of both benches being shown, and in no way should Xavier step back. Just an incredible run. Fun-filled, as you said on the open.
30 points for Mays. And just to think, Xavier's had difficulty scheduling some of the big powers the last couple of years, trying to improve their schedule.
And you can see why.
Hill's ball off the mark. Strong with the follow. The Flyers really wanted to get rid of that one.
He didn't want to go to the line. Well,
if you're not going to pass it to me under the basket.
That's right. Give it to me where I can do something. Why got it half court? They are a joy.
Well, Pete Gillen, one of the excellent young coaches indeed, and certainly his name has been mentioned for a number of vacancies, as will it continue to be the case.
Decision time in the next couple of weeks for Pete Gillen.
What do you think?
Well, he loves what he's doing at this institution. I'm not so sure he actually wants to leave, but if something comes up that for his family is obviously a beneficial situation, if maybe he has a promise in the future too, you never know. At some institution where the coach is thinking of packing it in at some point, retiring and getting into something else. You don't know what he's thinking. Virginia called, as I mentioned, in January and told him to call back after the season. So it won't be easy for him. He has a love affair with this university city and the kids on his team.
Jamie Gladden goes out. And Jerry Butler comes in for Xavier. And Texas had 41 points in the first half. Major difference in the second half. Mays fouled by Jerry Butler. Now, it's good to see there's another young man with a famous singer's name who may have had some difficulty with that name.
I'm sure.
Tell him to try James Brown on for size.
Somebody close to me.
So Tom Penders breaking nary a sweat, even trailing considerably in the first half, will take his team into the final 8. Of course, he had taken that Rhode Island team to the Sweet 16, and now taking Texas. That Rhode Island team was indeed a good one, that back in '87-88.
There's no fear when you're behind when you're with Texas or a Xavier. You know, if you're getting shots, nobody's going to take away the shots they take. So if you're getting them, eventually they're going to fall for you if you have that confidence level that Tommy has exhibited in his team. And the touching part of the game, a despondent Tyrone Hill, and he will play for a long time, I think, and we'll be enjoying it. That's a caring and concern for his teammates and institution. Of course, the high of victory. Woo.
So Travis Mays will leave the ball game with 32 points. The last 15 seconds. Butler blocked from behind by Shepard. And a remarkable turnaround in the second half gives Texas the victory. So the Midwest Regional Final is all set as Texas gets by Xavier and advances on. It will be an all Southwest Conference final here as Texas will face Arkansas. The Chevrolet players of the game are Lance Blanks with 28 points from Texas and Derek Strong of Xavier with 27 points and 14 rebounds. From Reunion Arena and for Bill Raftery, I'm James Brown saying so long. Let's go back to New York and Jim Nance.
What a terrific second half performance by Texas, and the Longhorns win it by 13. One thing to consider, Xavier has lost the last 2 previous years in the tournament to the eventual national champions, having lost in '88 to Kansas and last year to Michigan. So the Southwest Conference is assured of a team in the Final Four for the first time since the University of Houston, aptly named Phi Slamma Jamma by Tommy Bunk, went back in 1984. Arkansas is also there, playing on Saturday in the regional final against Texas as the Razorbacks move on to the Final 8 for the first time since 1979 when it lost to Indiana State by 2, an Indiana State team that was manned by Larry Bird. Duke was a winner in the East by 9 over UCLA. Consider again that the Blue Devils have been to the Final Four 3 of the last 4 years. And Duke will meet UConn Saturday for the East Championship. If you haven't seen it all day, check out the finish of this one. Clemson led by a point, 1 second to go. Connecticut inbounds the ball.
Here goes the long pass with 1 second to go. The shot. Yes! The shot's going to count. The shot by Tate George wins it.
Tate George winning shot from the Meadowlands. But this was the reaction on campus. Storrs, Connecticut. Going wild at Gampel Pavilion on campus at Connecticut. One shining moment for the Huskies, one stunning moment.
Blew a 19-point lead in the second half, but with 1 second left on the clock, Scott Burrell inbounded a touchdown pass to Tate George, who bagged the winning shot as time expired. The Huskies advanced to the regional final with a 71-70 win over Clemson. UConn will meet Duke Saturday. The Blue Devils held off UCLA 90-81 and are just a game away from their 4th straight Final Four appearance. The Bruins finish at 22-11. Duke improves to 27-8. In the Midwest, Arkansas went on a 42-19 run in the final 10 minutes and bounced North Carolina 96-73. Lindsey Howell led the Razorbacks with 25. Oliver Miller and Lee Mayberry each added 19. Todd Day finished with 18. It'll be an all-Southwest Conference Midwest final as Arkansas faces Texas. The Longhorns beat Xavier 102-89 as Lance Blank scored 28 to lead the way. St. Louis held off DePaul to advance to the semifinals of the National Invitational Tournament. The Billikens await the Hawaii-New Mexico winner in New York. In the NBA, the Rockets snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 115-110 win over the Pistons. Hakeem Olajuwon scored 26. Buck Johnson added 20. Detroit's 12-game winning streak ended. Dallas topped Orlando. San Antonio handed Portland its first loss in 11 games. Seattle dumped now.
It is a two-pointer. They're going to call it a two-pointer, and you look like you're going in overtime, but you got to say the momentum looks like it's favoring Georgia Tech. They don't want to waste it down there on the floor. Well, Skinny Anderson, right here, Steve Smith almost gets a hand on it and knocks it away from him, but somehow he keeps control of it, gets back, and he would prefer to go left. And you'll see clearly his right foot is on the line. The official made the right call.
The official, Charlie Range, at the bottom of your screen from Fremont, California, had the perfect view. Now, that's John Clockerty trying to convince Bobby Crimmins that the call is correct.
And there's no question about what we just saw, Greg. The call is correct. Now it's time for everybody.
Dwayne Stevens and Kirk Mann's also on the court. Here we go. Redfield launches the three-pointer.
Well, at face value, you think there's a good chance the ball was still in Anderson's hands. But there is a telling piece of tape. We have slowed it down and listened to it in slow motion. And you will see, without question, the ball was indeed in Anderson's hands as the horn sounded. The goal should have never counted. Listen up. Somewhere through that muffled